So I've been needing to make a response to this video for a while. I know it's old, but I think it's a shining example of what feminism has turned into as of late, and the extreme hypocrisy and ignorance that many of these sorts of people display. I'd like to deconstruct a lot of the common arguments third-wave feminists make. I know I kind of chickened out in the male privilege video, mostly because I felt everything I could have said had already been said. So it's time I actually do a proper response to Laci Green, even though she doesn't deserve it. So without further ado, let's delve right into this.
The rumors are true. What they've been saying about me. I have to come clean. I, Laci Green, am a feminist. What? You're a lesbian now? Man-hater, hairy armpits. Ain't it so? It's gonna be okay. Those are just stereotypes. I think that feminism is both kick-ass and super important.
First of all, where do you think those stereotypes come from? Second of all, I noticed how you snuck in that sly second definition you had for feminism. So I guess it's not just about equality like all of you guys say, right? Apparently it's also about having a personal commitment to understanding and achieving gender equality in everyday life. The problem with that statement is that it's very subjective, and you are implying that women in the West face gender inequality in their everyday lives. Newsflash, women are not oppressed in the West.
And here are a few of my reasons why. I'm a feminist because girls are taught in public school that once she has sex, she'll lose a part of herself.
Citation needed. Virginity is something that both boys and girls have, and something that they can both lose. It's not just for girls.
Because women who have a lot of sex are sluts, while guys are studs.
Those words imply completely different things. A slut is a woman who isn't truly attractive, but manages to get a lot of sex anyway. I've heard terms like man whore being used for men who are like this. A stud or a player, on the other hand, is a man who gets a lot of girls because he's attractive, but he's often manipulative and doesn't care about the feelings of the women he has sex with. I've heard terms like femme fatale being used to describe women who are like this. They're two different things.
Amanda Todd, Felicia Garcia, Charisse Morales, because of the sexism that drove them to end their lives.
They didn't kill themselves because of sexism, they killed themselves because they were bullied. Even those who see Amanda Todd as this angelic martyr don't say that she killed herself because of sexism.
I'm a feminist because I was told the first time I had sex would be painful and bloody. I was terrified.
This makes me think you're not really the sex ed teacher that you claim to be, Laci, because if you were, you would know that part of a girl's hymen breaks the first time she has sex, and sometimes this can be, as you put it, painful and bloody.
Because 1 in 4 young women is assaulted and society still asks, what was she wearing?
Society doesn't ask what she was wearing. I've never met anyone who would ask such a thing other than a part of police investigation to help better identify the victim. And that 1 in 5, 1 in 4, 1 in 3, 12 in 1 statistic is completely bogus. It's been debunked multiple times. Stop increasing the number, will you? Also, that person holding up the sign spelled "they're" wrong.
Because male victims of rape aren't believed since guys want sex all the time anyway, right?
This is a genuine issue, which strangely enough feminists do not address. You're simply saying this to show everyone that you're all for equality, then hide under that guise when you hate on men for their toxic masculinity.
Because of catcalling and street harassment, because no, it is not a f***ing compliment.
Again, what constitutes street harassment is very subjective. Considering many people like you consider asking where somebody's from street harassment, many of those things that you deem catcalling are actually compliments.
I'm a feminist because my first boyfriend sexually assaulted me, and when I went to my friends for help, they called me a slut.
Okay, if that actually happened, I'm very sorry for you. That was an awful thing for your friends to do. But what your friend said is not indicative of what people at large believe. However, considering every third-wave feminist these days has a rape story, I'm not really buying it.
Because when I speak at universities about the absolute necessity of consent, there are people in the audience who laugh.
There are always going to be jerks out there, Laci, and feminism's not going to stop them from existing. That being said, it seems you didn't give any context about what they laughed at. Maybe it was because you said something that's stupid and demonstrably untrue like you usually do?
Because boobs are used to sell everything from burgers to soap, but don't you dare breastfeed out in the open.
There's a difference between publicly breastfeeding and using sex appeal to sell things. That's a false equivalence, Laci.
Because this shocks and terrifies people. I'm not even kidding. You should see some of the looks that I get.
Hairy armpits don't look good on women in general because body hair is a masculine trait, so many people who are attracted to women aren't attracted to that. That being said, I agree it shouldn't be shocking or terrifying. If you want to have hairy armpits, go ahead and have hairy armpits. Just don't complain when fewer people are attracted to you.
I'm a feminist because of how much pressure we put on girls to value their appearance above everything else.
Citation needed again, Laci. Who is saying this? And by the way, if you're really for men and women being equal, why have you only mentioned one men's issue so far and about 1 billion non-existent women's issue?
Because of labiaplasties, boob jobs, hymenoplasties.
So, are you against people choosing to have these surgeries? That's a rather authoritarian thing of you to imply, Laci.
because our culture considers it normal to cut off part of an infant's penis.
Men's right issue, the third wave feminists never addressed number 2. Why do you hate egalitarians and MRIs again, Laci?
And the feminist because male orgasm in the movies is rated PG-13, while female orgasm is rated R.
Citation needed, but for the sake of argument, I'm going to assume this is true. Again, Laci, I'm wondering why you consider yourself a sex education considering that I seem to know a lot more about sex than you do. PG-13 movies can only show mild nudity and brief sex scenes, so it makes sense that it usually would only show male orgasms, since it only takes men a few minutes to have an orgasm. However, it usually takes a lot longer for a woman to have an orgasm. Usually, a woman needs multiple forms of stimulation to do so. It makes sense that a scene in which that happens would be longer and more graphic, therefore more suitable for an R-rated movie. But of course, there are general rules, and the final MPAA decision would probably be based on simply how long and graphic the sex scene was, not the sex of the person having an orgasm. Even if that wasn't the case, tell me why this is a problem again, Laci?
I'm a feminist because in 2013 there were over 700 bills proposed to regulate a woman's body. And for men, the rightful number, 0.
Again, maybe that's because abortion is a hot topic and women obviously play more of a role in reproduction. I'm pro-choice, but only before new relation. When the baby develops a nervous system and all of its organs and officially becomes a fetus. A lot of those laws aren't designed to regulate a woman's body, whatever that's supposed to mean. They're designed to stop a fetus which can actually feel pain from being aborted.
I'm a feminist because the political body making decisions about my body is over 80% male. Wow.
Maybe that's because men tend to be gravitated more towards politics? If you want to change that, Laci, how about you run for office? Oh wait, you're not going to do that, are you?
Because men occupy the top rungs of not just politics, but every industry in the world.
Really? What about cooking? What about fashion? What about cosmetics? Citation needed again, Laci. Men and women tend to gravitate towards certain jobs. There's nothing wrong with that. Men also tend to gravitate more towards positions of leadership, Laci. Again, if you want to change it, why don't you try being a CEO?
I'm a feminist because jobs! Women only hold 1 in 4 STEM jobs. We own 6% of TV stations, 5% of executive positions in the media.
Again, that's based on choice. No one is telling women not to have those jobs. In fact, women are often encouraged to go into STEM fields. While I see nothing wrong with that, you can't deny that women and men tend to choose different jobs.
Because when I was younger and I took on a leadership role, all the adults in my life said, "You're being bossy."
Such a vague statement, Laci. I don't even know what the leadership position you referred to was, or how you led people. There's a difference between being a good leader and being bossy, and most people aren't very good leaders. Why do you think that no one likes their boss, whether the boss in question is male or female?
And let's not forget that sneaky little pay gap. By the time the average woman reaches 60 years old, she will have made $450,000 less than a man in the same exact position. That's like a fancy-ass house, a truckload of chocolate bars, or 10.
The pay gap isn't a pay gap. It's an earnings gap. Women tend to work fewer hours and go to lower paying jobs and job positions than men, so they make less than men on average. If companies are really unfairly paying women less, why would they hire any men to begin with?
And hell, I'm not even surprised by it. At my first job, I learned that my less qualified male coworker was making almost twice as much as me.
Maybe that's because he was more experienced or had held a different job position than you. Also, isn't it your opinion whether he was less qualified or not?
I'm a feminist because the media told me that women are my competition, destroying my friendships with them for almost 20 years.
So the evil media got in your head and made all your friendships hard. Where in the media anywhere does it say that you're supposed to compete with women? And even if it did, there's something called thinking for yourself. I recommend that you use it, Laci.
Because gender roles!
And what do gender roles have to do with anything? Why are they bad?
Because that one-size-fits-all binary that shoves us into boxes and erases who we are.
Oh, so you're talking about the evil gender binary. Okay, guess what, Laci? There aren't 2 genders to put everyone into boxes. There are 2 genders because only male and female brains exist. It's about biology, not gender roles or society.
I'm a feminist because in 10th grade someone called my best friend a pussy and it tore him up for weeks.
So I guess they were right about him then.
And I realized the worst insult was to be compared to a woman.
What about dick? Wouldn't that mean that the worst insult is to be compared to a man?
Because boys are shamed for being emotionally open, because that's a girl thing, and womanhood is weak. Weak! Never mind the fact that it was most likely a woman who pushed your body out of her vagina.
Again, who says that women are inherently weak? And women doing something that their bodies have been biologically designed to do isn't evidence of strength. It's evidence that their bodies doing something that they're supposed to do. Also, men's issue that third-wave feminists never talk about. Number 3.
I'm a feminist because my father never once did the laundry, made dinner, or cleaned the house. When I suggested he help, my grandpa told me I was out of my damn mind.
What's wrong with him not doing that? Maybe it's because he had a job that he worked at all day?
Wow. Out of my mind. Am I taking crazy pills?
Yes, you are, Laci, particularly the blue pill that people gave you in order to brainwash you, make you completely deny reality.
I'm a feminist because people still say that asexual, bisexual, and trans folk don't exist.
What on earth does that have to do with feminism?
I'm a feminist because same-sex marriage is a no-brainer. Because in 34 states, it's legal to discriminate against someone who's transgender.
Again, that's not a gender issue, so why is it a feminist issue?
Really?
Really?
I'm a feminist because representation, it matters! And LGBT folks, women, and particularly women of color, hardly ever have their stories told on screen.
You still haven't answered my question, Laci.
I'm a feminist because I believe that the world should be safe for girls, everywhere. Because half the girls in Yemen will become child brides. Because 65% of Brazilians believe that a woman who dresses in revealing clothes deserves to be raped. Because in Saudi Arabia, women still can't vote or drive.
Maybe that's evidence for why we need feminism in other countries that are not in the West, Laci, but third-wave feminists like you never address the problems in those countries.
I'm a feminist because in every corner of the world, every day, women's bodies are used as a battleground in wars started by men.
Ooh, the evil men. I guess women can't start wars now, can they?
Raped, beaten, sold into slavery, mutilated, burned with acid. I'm a feminist because when I dare to get pissed off at injustice, I'm just another angry feminist who's on her period.
Maybe that's because feminism in the West has turned into a joke these days, no thanks to people like you.
I'm a feminist because of the reality that there are people who would take these words more seriously
If they were coming out of my mouth.
Citation needed. Who are these people you speak of? Give me some names. Also, I feel sorry for that poor little cuck that you dragged into this video.
Most of all, I'm a feminist because I believe in gender equality. And my eyes are open. My mind is active. I know we're not there yet.
You're right. Both men and women alike face inequalities. However, you seem to be obsessed with ignoring men and only focusing on women. But your eyes and mind are not open, Laci. They are very much shut.
Thanks for supporting me here on Sex Plus Babes. I would like to know, are you a feminist? Tell me why or why not down below, and I'll see you next time. Mwah!
Except your mom. Oh.
What?
So that's the end of this cancer. As you can see, Laci has no idea what she's talking about. She's just a propaganda artist who's probably brainwashed herself into thinking that women and men have the same orgasm, that the evil patriarchy believes that what men say is more important than what women say. So, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Thanks for watching.
Feel the funk blast!